The Ministry of Information and Media Broadcasting Services held its first monthly press conference for 2025 on Wednesday at the Sadaura Jabara International Conference Center in Bijilo. The event brought together key departments under the ministry, including the Gambia Radio and Television Services, Digital Gambia Limited, and the Gambia Printing and Publishing Corporation. According to the ministry, the objective of this monthly press conference is to provide timely, accurate, and relevant updates to the public, fostering transparency, accountability, and the consolidation of democracy. Dr. Ismail Assise, the Minister of Information, emphasized the government's responsibility to remain accountable to the public. He highlighted the media's crucial role as a partner in ensuring transparency and accountability. Dr. Assise also reflected on some of the ministry's key achievements in 2024, including the presentation of a Data Protection Bill 2024 to the National Assembly.
Last year also, we presented a bill to the National Assembly called the Data Protection and Privacy Bill for its reading. This is a key step towards improving data governance. Because sometimes, if you observe, if you want to open a new account, whether it's social media or any other account, they give you a long list of conditions, terms and conditions, and they say you have to accept. Sometimes we don't even read those terms and conditions, we just accept. Something has to do with your data. What happens to your data? You've provided your name, your surname, your father's name, what happens to this data? So to protect data integrity, but also to protect citizens' data, and citizens' privacy as well. Where the government is working on a bill, which is Data Protection and Privacy Bill. Second reading currently is at the National Assembly for approval. We also, as a ministry, appointed ATI Information Commissioners. If you could recall, in 2021, the government passed the ATI Act. Now, to implement that act, according to the act, within 18 months, the act must be implemented. And we all know what the act is about. That is, the public can request for information from public officials. So what we did was to appoint the 5 commissioners who are confirmed by the National Assembly. And now we are working on operationalizing the secretariat so that it is becoming a fully functional secretariat. In addition, as a ministry, we also conducted capacity building programs for senior government officials in collaboration with NDI, the National Democratic Institute, with UNESCO and NADCOM, to raise awareness of the ATI Act as well. We also provided capacity building programs for information officers and journalists to strengthen professional communication practices. Now remember, Department of Information Service is an operational arm of the ministry. They recruit and deploy information officers to different ministries as part of our mandate to provide information, timely, accurate, authentic information to the public. We have a lot of information officers that we send to each ministry as information officers. Now we are going to change that name to communications officers.
Dr. Assise outlined some of the ministry's key plans for 2025, including the development of the Information, Media and Broadcasting Bill and the formulation of a strategic plan for 2025 to 2029 to guide their actions. He also reaffirmed their commitment to holding monthly ministerial press conferences to promote transparency and ensure accessibility to information. Meanwhile, the Director General of the Gambia Radio and Television Services GRTS, Abdullah Sy, discussed efforts to modernize GRTS, including the introduction of a digital platform to enhance content delivery and accessibility. He further reveals plans to develop a mobile app enabling people to watch or listen to GRTS programs from anywhere.
All the sectors in GRTS, all the departments, people have been trained. And we have this gentleman understanding with the Minister of Higher Education to train our people up to BA level, degree level. This is important because when you improve people's professional development, you get the best out of them. The other thing that we did, we've been following GRTS, any function that the head of state is attending, we cover it live. Even if it is up country, where internet is a challenge or other logistics are a challenge. This was not the case some 2-3 years ago. But we repositioned ourselves, reorganize ourselves, and see to it that we have to do this thing. Because people must have information, as the information minister said. When people don't have information, they create their own. That's what brings these rumors and all those things. So we're trying to make GRTS to reach everybody and everybody to reach GRTS. The other step that we did basic as it may seem. Radio Gambia, as it is known, that is GRTS radio, used to be called Radio Combo when we are young. Why? Because reception is much better only around the Combo. Up country has always been a challenge. I'm happy to inform you, as we are speaking, GRTS radio or Radio Gambia is on satellite for the first time ever. It means you can get GRTS wherever you are. Whether you are in the Gambia here or you're outside, you can get GRTS. And we're also working on an app. The modern generation or younger people prefer to watch or to listen using their telephones. How best can we reach them? We said, let's develop an app. That work is in progress, and Allah willing, in the near future, or maybe in the next few months, that one will be done. And anybody can download the app and be able to listen or watch GRTS programs. How is this important, or why is this important? As I say, basic, but very, very important, because it will keep people engaged with the national broadcaster. It will be even interactive. You can comment, you can do whatever, and we'll know how best to engage you and how best to share information with you.
The Gambia Printing and Publishing Corporation, GPPC, is responsible for managing the government's printing and publishing activities. Mamoudou Cissé, the managing director, reveals that over the past years, GPPC has successfully supplied 133,000 textbooks to senior secondary schools. The company is now collaborating with the ministry to fulfill a second phase of the contract, valued at nearly $58 million.
Another very important function or mandate of the Gambia Printing and Publishing Corporation, like I said earlier on, is the provision of teaching and learning materials to institutions. We all know the importance of teaching and learning materials, especially in the form of textbooks. Unfortunately, like I mentioned earlier on, for the time I have been in GPPC, almost about 15 years now, and 13 years as the MD, we have been having series of collaborations with the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education to ensure that this key mandate is actually achieved. Unfortunately, we couldn't achieve until 2023, when finally we have signed an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, with the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education in collaboration with the Gambia Writers Association, as well as the conferences of principals of senior, junior, and upper basic schools, for GPPC to start printing and publishing textbooks for schools. And I'm happy to announce here that GPPC have successfully delivered on that mandate in 2023. Some few months ago, almost some of the media houses were present when we were doing those distributions. The corporation was giving a contract to provide textbooks for senior secondary schools, almost about 133,000 textbooks, from all areas: English, mathematics, sciences, the arts, and then we have successfully delivered it. Currently, we are working with the ministry to do the second batch of the contract, which has to be, which is the printing of the same textbooks for the senior secondary schools for 2024-2025 academic year. This is a very major achievement because it changed the GPPC in all forms in terms of revenue, because this contract was almost about a $58 million contract with the government of the Gambia, and therefore has boosted the performance of GPPC significantly.
Lamin Sedikan, the General Manager of Digital Gambia Limited, explains that the institution was established by the government of the Gambia in 2018 to oversee the transition from analog to digital television broadcasting. He also outlines the transformative agenda of the organization, while highlighting some of the challenges they face, including limited funding to effectively run their programs.
Migration from analog to digital transmission has numerous advantages for all the member countries. It creates employability, it creates revenue for the government, and the employability is mainly in the creative sector, because it's all about film production, the creation of television channels. The film, the film production sector is about documentary production, film production. Is all about creating jobs for the youths. Now, what we are working on now is to gather funds, to mobilize funds to put up the infrastructure, the DTT transmission platform at all the various sites countrywide. But our greatest challenge as we speak today is financing. That is our main challenge to put up this infrastructure. The government before the Second Republic had made an agreement with SCAF to carry out the process of the digital analog to digital migration, but SCAF couldn't do the job, and it was with SCAF for solid 7 years. That was a waste for the country, loss of revenue, and it took a long time. And finally, the agreement between SCAF and the Gambia government was terminated in April 2021.
Dr. Sise also informed journalists that his ministry is in the process of setting up a social media observatory to monitor and combat online disinformation. He mentioned that they are taking proactive steps to address misinformation and disinformation through various campaigns, with one set to launch this week. Reporting for Kirfatu, I am Ramatulai Jao.